Hey guys, this is a Truth Seekers Network solar anomaly update. If there's a little bit of background noise, I apologize. I got some family over. Um, it looks like SDO in Soho may have actually been rocked. We thought this was just a error in the software imagery coming down when they reconstructed the images, but we're seeing this type of rocking action of the entire satellite on several platforms. We first noticed this morning. Usually when they do a maneuver, which they say that they only do a satellite maneuver of SDO maybe twice a year, and it's usually a rotation, but this looks like a very violent shake. Let it play one more time. The solar wind is picking up speed. Let's move on and see what else is going on. Ghost 15, as you can see in this filter, we have a lot of seething activity, filaments erupting and releasing all over the solar disk. Here's your active sunspot regions. The ones with the Earth footprint that I would be concerned about. 1455 was of concern, but is now moving off the western limb. The next few days I would keep an eye on 1459, and we should still keep an eye on 1454. It looks like back in March, the flares that we had around March 8th have knocked out several of the instruments that we have become accustomed of using. This is one of the ACE plots, and it's been like this. It's pretty much flatlined. When they talk about bad data plots, this is the type of stuff I expect to see: a flat line, just things that don't make sense. No flux at all, no spikes, just pretty much flatlined. X-rays being picked up over the past 24 hours. You can see we've had several mid to high magnitude C-class flares. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another one right here. But one reason I made this video too, I'm keeping an eye on this, folks, but it looks like we could be looking at a possible magnetopause reversal again. I'm seeing some initial signs that just have me curious enough to keep a close eye on this. We'll get to that in a second. Here's the CME arrival prediction map. This flare that comes off that's going to graze Earth, I don't think the instruments quite picked that up correctly. I think this was a lot stronger than what it's showing. But with so many instruments damaged, it's very hard to tell what we're looking at right now. Looking at the cosmic cosmic ray monitor, this has been on the rise since about April 6th or 7th. It's been on a constant rise. This is from cosmic rays. This is being picked up by ground stations. I think this one comes from Moscow, and it has been in a constant rise ever since about April 7th. If they're reaching the ground, folks, reaching the instruments, that means they're reaching us. Here's what has me a little interested in the magnetopause. I'm starting to see this these backwards lines of magnetic lines of flux seem to be pointing in the opposite direction, as this material from behind seems to be closing in on the backside of the planet. I would not be surprised in the next few hours to see some sort of reversal here. Right now our bow shield is still on the sun facing side of the Earth, as it should be. But again, with all the solar activity lately, and and the cosmic rays that we seem to be receiving, which I'm not so sure are coming from the sun, it just makes me wonder if another wave, like we saw on March 13th, may be on our doorstep. And in our past radio shows, we have speculated that we may see several more of these reversals before the end of 2012. I will go back. Let's see. We'll go back a little bit in time and check the imagery from about an hour ago, hour and a half. You see this, the material back here in the magnetic field lines are more stretched out, going away from the planet. You see the magnetic lines, the field directions are pretty much all pointing away from Earth. But then reload the most recent image, and it seems like this seems to be closing in from the back. Also, it appears we know we have holes in our magnetosphere. Looks like we have a hole here and a hole here. But again, on the most recent image, you can see that there appears to be a somewhat of a flow reversal. So this is something I'm going to keep an eye on. And let's take a look at the magnetopause simulation. Everything looks good right now. I'm not seeing any flips. But it's just a gut feeling, guys. And I'm going to be watching this throughout the night. Let this play all the way out up into the current timestamp. I am thankful that some of these simulations are back up, but for the most part, we're still flying pretty blind, guys. It does seem that satellites and instrumentation were damaged on March 8th. And last but not least, I think we're going to have some wacky weather down in the southeast and probably the rest of the United States. We've had this warm spell, but this is a 7-day jet stream projection. And what concerns me is all this cold Arctic air that seems to be dipping down into the deep south. I noticed a big temperature change today from yesterday, and I'm just wondering if we're going to see some very erratic weather over the next 5 to 7 days. That's a quick anomaly update, guys. More news as it becomes available. Everybody take care.